pick-me-up?
Joyce!
Because NBC Comedy will make you...
Which is, of course, dolphin for...
You want to unleash the dog? Yeah. What the hell was that?
Trust the process. Is this stuff that's actually going to happen?
They have a number between 1 and 100. No. Are they good? I wouldn't say so.
So good.
It's MASH CTV on MeTV.
See what you started?
It's MASH C Labs.
What about rank? Can I help it if I'm not as rank as you?
MASH C characters.
You wanted to see me?
And MASH C
It's a picture of General MacArthur in the nude.
TV.
Watch on WKTV 2.4.
Chilling with the queen. Her name is Gail King.
Hey!
CBS.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning. CBS.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning. CBS Morning. CBS Mornings on CBS and where else? Paramount Plus. See you at 7. CBS. CBS Mornings.
I want a mug. Yeah, good mug.
Where the news comes first. You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise.
Now at 6 at sunrise, a warm start today. Temperatures in the 40s, 30s, in some spots though 50s with a very busy stretch, potentially severe weather later this afternoon.
Also ahead, powerful late season winter storms sweeping across parts of the Midwest, bringing blizzard conditions and dangerous travel. And the Boonville community comes together for firefighters hurt in a church explosion a month ago. It's March 16th, 2026.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning, but the big story we want to focus on is the potential. We have an alert day this afternoon. You definitely want to be weather aware, folks. Looking at a lot of different hazards today. Everything but the kitchen sink, and I think you might be able to throw that in there as well.
Oh, yeah, maybe the kitchen sink might be. If it falls from the sky, I would not be shocked.
No.
Let's take a look at what's going on outside this morning. A storm rolled through parts of Oneida County. You can see that storm report in Rome. That is since heading up toward Boonville with a lot less lightning than it did when it was passing through, say, sections of Lee and the north central Oneida County area. But nonetheless, it is a warmer start, especially in the western New York areas, a bit cooler heading toward the Hudson Valley and the eastern portions of the Mohawk Valley. A few isolated downpours here. That one just passed through Boonville, now heading toward Old Forge and maybe out near Camden, a few stray showers as well. But nonetheless, today is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day because we have a very strong front rolling its way into the area. Following that, a flash freeze, and then we have some lake effect to follow as we head into the middle of the week this week. So this is the risk for this evening through tonight. Notice here, yellow, level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Green is level 1 out of 5 risk. And the biggest concern today is the wind gust percentage. And not only that, but also the fact that we've got a lot of shear or change in wind speed and direction with altitude today, which is why there is a tornado risk. It's not 0, but it's also not high. So I want to emphasize this. You see here, the brunt of the strength of the system is to our south and east. Level 4 out of 5 risk for the areas including Raleigh in the Carolinas and Virginia heading toward the DC area. But again, we're on the fringe of it here today. So what does that mean for us? Well, we've got severe weather potential today, not high, but we can't let our guard down with a front this strong. Then following that, a flash freeze with snowfall and a huge drop in temperature tonight through tomorrow morning. So we're going to break this down hour by hour coming up shortly. For now, though, highs today feeling very spring-like in the 60s, but don't get used to it because tomorrow feeling a lot colder, and on top of that, we have some storms to track this evening. So we'll be talking a bit more about this, the time frame, risks, everything you need to know to plan out your day today and make sure you're weather aware coming up in a few minutes. Ben?
Yeah, definitely a good day to get that Storm Tracker 2 weather app and have your weather radios on and ready. A quick water alert for residents in parts of Herkimer. They're being asked to boil their water. Herkimer police say it's because of a water service interruption in the area. Residents of West Steel Street from South Washington to Dewey Ave are affected. Fire investigators in the city of Utica are looking into what caused a fire in a Court Street duplex. Firefighters were called to 1220 Court Street just before 10 o'clock Saturday night. They found heavy smoke coming from the second floor of that building. They were able to quickly put that fire out. No injuries were reported. Staying on the story, it's been nearly 1 month since a devastating explosion destroyed Boonville's Abundant Life Church, critically injuring 4 Boonville firefighters and the church's pastor. Since then, the local and surrounding communities have stepped up, raising money so the church could be rebuilt to also help cover medical and other expenses of those that were injured. This weekend saw several fundraisers taking place supporting the cause. One of those held at the Boonville Elks Lodge, packed wall to wall with supporters, featuring live music, food, refreshments, raffles, and a Chinese auction. And for those affected by the explosion, the support has been immense.
The community has been overwhelming. I mean, and it's not just this community, but the communities next to us and all over the country. I mean, we've had reports from California, all over the country. So, I mean, it's just been unreal, and the response is very unreal. I mean, it's been something.
And just a few miles away, the Believe 271 Foundation held their annual bowling tournament fundraiser at the Boonville Bowlerama. The foundation made the decision that all the money raised this year will go to support their fellow firefighters, as well as the pastor injured in the Abundant Life Church explosion. In addition to the tournament, there was also a Chinese auction with plenty of items to bid on.
These guys, they give all throughout the year, and now the roles are reversed, and so the community stepped up and actually knows, that these people have responded to their house for medical emergencies, an ambulance call or whatever, and the community realizes that, and they came out and they've been absolutely phenomenal here to, support these guys.
We're told 60 teams competed in the tournament, and even more had to be turned away because there just wasn't enough room for them. Parties were still going on into the early morning hours in Hollywood after the movie industry's biggest night. The 98th Academy Awards honored the year's best work in film. Jennifer Bjorklund has the highlights.
The Oscar goes to One Battle After Another.
A dark comedy about political resistance took top honors at the Academy Awards. Best Picture among its 6 wins, including Supporting Actor for Sean Penn and Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson.
What a night. You guys, let's have a martini. This is pretty amazing.
Michael B. Jordan.
Best Actor was among the 4 honors on the night for the vampire saga Sinners.
Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home, for supporting me over my career. I feel it.
Also feeling it was Ryan Coogler.
Everybody, all my cast and crew, please stand up. You guys are amazing.
His first career Oscar for Sinners Original Screenplay. Well, Sinners' Autumn Durald Arkopa became the first woman to win Best Cinematographer.
I'm so honored to be here.
No surprise for Best Actress.
Jessie Butler.
The Hamnet stars win coming on the British Mother's Day.
So I would like to dedicate this to the beautiful chaos of a mother's heart.
The night's other winners included a jovial Amy Madigan.
This is great.
Best Supporting Actress for Weapons.
Golden.
While Best Original Song and Best Animated Feature went to K-pop Demon Hunters.
Buddy, what fun we had storming the castle.
Billy Crystal's tribute to filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer, part of a poignant segment honoring film legends lost. Barbra Streisand made a rare appearance.
The way we were.
To honor the memory of friend and co-star Robert Redford. Part of a night Hollywood saluted its best. Jennifer Bjorklund, NBC News, Hollywood.
Time now at 6:08, still ahead on Sunrise. Even with snow in the forecast, the burn ban goes into effect statewide today. Plus, the Trump administration facing a backlash due to a rapid increase in prices at the pump. That's coming up on News Channel 2 at Sunrise. Eric?
Heading out of the bus stop this morning, temperatures beginning in the 40s with mostly cloudy skies, a passing shower or thunderstorm, which has mostly already passed. Either way, this afternoon it's mainly dry, but storms approach to our west, a high of 62. We'll be right back.
How do you know what information you can trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. Discover how audits create ripples of opportunity throughout our economy. With so much information coming at us, one thing matters most: trust. But how do you know what to trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. By assuring the information companies report is transparent, accurate, and reliable, audits fuel the American economy. If you haven't thought about how audits ripple through our economy, it's time to discover the audit effect.
If we got clear facts, maybe we can calm down a little.
Talk to each other more.
That's what the news is supposed to do.
We know that everybody loves me. We also know that everybody loves Raymond. But did you know everybody loves his brother and his wife and his parents too? It's a family everybody can love.
Everything you could want in one show.
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
Something to look forward to tomorrow. We're going to have...
Whoa, this is pretty big news.
Judge. This spring, MLB has a new home.
See you soon.
Judge! Sanity in wartime requires
A sound heart and a sound mind. Sir!
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
Who wants to make a deal?
This is the one place that we guarantee you that you'll have a good time.
A perfect show today.
$25,000 in cash. You can take my word on it.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:11 on this Monday morning, and we'll take a look at your forecast in a minute. And there's a lot to get through in just a minute, but I'll break it down for you here shortly. So right now, a live look at downtown Utica. A little damp out there this morning. Temperature 44 degrees with a still decent easterly wind right now today, and that'll likely shift as we head throughout the afternoon, more to the south, and eventually a strong westerly wind tonight as the backside of this front will produce at least some snow with the arrival of that flash freeze. And before that time frame, though, we've got a massive line of thunderstorms, a confirmed tornado warning in Georgia right now. So for the time being, we're just starting to see some of the severe weather take shape, especially along the East Coast early today. We're on the fringe of it here locally. Now I see here, if you got some of those strong storms locally right now, in fact, things are rather quieting up. But you'll notice what happens later on in the day today. We're going to see this front begin to roll its way through. Temperatures peaking near 60. Now, hopefully we stay mostly cloudy. If we start to see sunshine, that'd be concerning. But nonetheless, we see right here the arrival of a front. It's going to push its way through. Heavy rain, some stronger wind gusts, and hopefully no storms that begin to spin up, because that's our biggest concern today. There's a lot of rotational energy in the atmosphere that we're tracking. Of course, following that, see here, you got some snow working its way in, a flash freeze tonight. Now, that's just the general synopsis of the weather today. Make sure you're weather aware. We're going to dive into why you'll be weather aware over the next 24 hours with that severe weather risk coming up in a couple of minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Happening today, New York State reminding residents the spring burn ban goes into effect. The ban prohibits any burning of residential brush. The DEC says open burning of debris is the largest cause of spring wildfires in the state. Backyard fire pits and campfires less than 3 feet wide, or 3 feet high and 4 feet wide are still allowed. The ban runs until May 14th. The time now, 6:13, a live look at downtown Utica. Eric will be in next with his full Storm Tracker 2 forecast. That, along with more news, is coming your way on News Channel 2 at sunrise.
How do you know what information you can trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. Discover how audits create ripples of opportunity throughout our economy. How do you know what information you can trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. Discover how audits create ripples of opportunity throughout our economy.
Night, everybody.
Good night, John Boy.
Say good day to John Boy and the rest of the Waltons.
Watch on WKTV 2.4. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app and put the power of Storm Tracker 2 in the palm of your hand. Watch the latest forecast, hour-by-hour conditions, the latest radar this winter. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app today. The Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Do you need a pick-me-up? Because NBC Comedy will make you...
Which is, of course, dolphin for...
You want to unleash the dog? Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Trust the process.
Is this stuff that's actually going to happen?
Think of a number between 1 and 100.
No.
Are they good? I wouldn't say so.
So good.
It's MASH CTV on MeTV.
See what you started?
It's MASH C Labs.
What about rank? Can I help it if I'm not as rank as you?
MASH C Characters.
You wanted to see me?
And MASH C
Oh, it's a picture of General MacArthur in the nude.
TV.
Watch on WKTV 2.4.
Chilling with the queen, her name is Gail King.
Hey!
CBS Mornings.
CBS Morning.
CBS Mornings.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Mornings. CBS Mornings. CBS Mornings on CBS and where else? Paramount Plus. See you at 7. CBS Mornings.
I want a mug. Yeah, good mug.
The chocolate to your caramel. Perfect pairs. Share a square. Ghirardelli makes life a bite better.
From simple makeovers to major restorations, Lincoln Davies makes it easy. Visit the design showroom for kitchens and baths or our Sequoia and Forestport locations for lumber and materials. Lincoln Davies Building Supply, 3 locations to serve you.
Omni, we got your back.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are tracking the arrival of a massive cold front and a big change in the weather pattern with a flash freeze expected tonight. Before that, though, there's some severe weather risk we got to be aware of. Let's take a look right now at the radar and satellite. So we see here on the larger scale side of the atmosphere, here's this warm front that moved its way north into central New York. This is a trailing cold front to our west. You can see maybe the very faint line here. That's the front we're tracking here. And on top of that, some heavy rain along that line. But we zoom out a little bit. We've got some blizzard warnings here for sections of the northern Midwest here. We're talking Upper Peninsula, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois. Either way, right now, blizzard warning's not a concern, but the big thing, of course, being that severe weather. An isolated storm or two passed through from that warm front earlier this morning. Things are going to start quieting down a little bit. A much different story when it comes to the southeast. Outside Atlanta, a tornado warning and multiple considerable thunderstorm warnings in the southeastern areas early today. So this is a front that is significant, very strong, impacting those zones, especially heading toward the low country in the southeast. Here locally, you notice here we've got yellow and green on our map here. Yellow indicates level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Green indicates level 1. Now, when we see situations like this, about as high as we go risk-wise locally, usually is level 3 or enhanced, the brown color. And that usually happens in summertime. It's almost extremely rare to see it this time of year. In fact, it's very rare to see a slight risk this time of year. Now, when it comes to actual risks regarding these strong storms, wind is a big concern, number one. And then hail risk, which is mainly to our south and east, or south and west. That's number 2. But the big thing here we got to keep a close eye out for is risk for tornadoes. Now notice here, it's 2%. It's not high. This doesn't mean we're going to get hit by widespread tornadoes. What it means is that where the atmosphere is at this point, this afternoon and this evening, there could be a chance for a storm to spin up. And it's due to what's called shear. So severe weather has 4 main ingredients. And I always sometimes like to call it SLIM. Shear, lift, instability, and moisture. The 4 main ones. And we have lift, a cold front, a lifting mechanism. Maybe a little bit of moisture, a bit lower on that. It's low on instability, but we have shear, a lot of it. And you get enough of one ingredient, you can have less other ingredients and still produce severe weather. Now, what high shear and low instability environments mean is that we're going to see maybe a chance for storms, if they do happen to spin up, to not last too long. But they still have the chance to spin up beforehand. Once the front moves through around 10:30, we're talking 6 to 8 p.m. for that severe weather window, by the way. Then that front will produce widespread snow, flash freeze, lake effect on the backside of that band. Timing it out today, you see here, we're in the upper 50s, pushing 60. Hopefully no sunshine. That'll add to that instability, what we don't want. And then there's that front right there, 5 p.m. as we push its way eastward. We've got that widespread rain rolling its way through by 8 p.m. onwards. And then, of course, widespread snow at 11:30. And the winds pick up and lake effect begins to move its way in. The temperature drop here, very important. 61 by 3 p.m. today. Wind chill at 2 degrees by 6:30 tomorrow morning. Even the negatives heading up into the Adirondacks. So a massive, massive drop in temperature tonight. And then tomorrow for St. Paddy's Day, we're going to be tracking some breezy conditions, lake effect snow. Pretty much a very wintry day. And then we'll see those temperatures climb a little bit heading towards spring itself, leaning more toward a milder stretch, but not very warm, not very cold. We're kind of in that limbo time period as we enter the warmer months. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Let's take a look at today's birthdays.
With so much information coming at us, one thing matters most: trust. But how do you know what to trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. By assuring the information companies report is transparent, accurate, and reliable, audits fuel the American economy. If you haven't thought about how audits ripple through our economy, it's time to discover the audit effect.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. For 49 years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. Whether you're just starting out or looking to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture is the place to shop. Adirondack Home Furniture has uncommissioned salespeople for a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience, also with unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center, Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
If we got clear facts, maybe we can calm down a little.
Talk to each other more.
That's what the news is supposed to do.
We know that everybody loves me. We also know that everybody loves Raymond. But did you know everybody loves his brother and his wife and his parents too? It's a family everybody can love.
Everything you could want in one show.
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
Something to look forward to tomorrow. We're going to have.
Whoa, this is pretty big news.
Judge. This spring, MLB has a new home.
See you soon.
Judge!
The Oneonta Weather Camera, brought to you by Curtis Lumber, now open in New Hartford.
In your financial report this morning, new alarm bells coming from the CEOs of the country's biggest airlines. They're urging Congress to end the DHS shutdown as travelers navigate major delays and TSA workers miss their first full paycheck. Aaron Gilchrist reports.
Travel trauma impacting airports across the country. Passengers recording long lines at TSA pre-checks from Austin to Philly and similar scenes from Houston to Atlanta.
It's crazy. I'm really disappointed.
It is stressful for sure. And even more stressful for the people who aren't getting paid and are at work.
After TSA workers got a $0 paycheck on Friday, the major airlines now ratcheting up pressure on Congress to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. The CEOs writing in a letter, Americans who live in your districts and home states are tired of long lines at airports, travel delays, and flight cancellations caused by shutdown after shutdown. In the month since DHS funding lapsed, more than 300 TSA agents have quit, many of the remaining agents calling out and picking up odd jobs to make ends meet. The Transportation Secretary calling on Democrats to end their protest over immigration enforcement and vote to restore Homeland Security dollars.
We can get to a better place if they would just come to their senses and negotiate after they open it up.
The airlines predicting a record 171 million passengers will fly this spring and are asking lawmakers to approve a bill protecting TSA worker pay in future shutdowns. Meanwhile, security lines snake in and outside the Fort Lauderdale airport and all through ATL, with travelers doing their best to fly above the chaos.
I just appreciate those that are still with TSA remaining on the job, so yeah, I can wait.
New this morning, President Trump insists Iran has essentially been defeated militarily and wants to negotiate a deal, but says that they're not yet ready to do what he says is needed. Iran's top diplomat, on the other hand, says his country, they're ready to fight on. And with the war still raging, the Trump administration is facing a growing backlash over the rapid increase in prices at the pump. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
As the fighting with Iran now stretches into a third week with other countries roped in, including an Iranian drone strike this morning at Dubai's busy airport pausing flights, disruptions to the global energy supply are only growing. In the U.S., oil prices hovering around $100 a barrel, pushing gas prices up more than 70 cents a gallon since the war began.
I think they're quite expensive right now, especially for $4.30, 87. That's a lot.
The Trump administration adamant it's short-term pain.
The prices are going to come tumbling down as soon as it's over, and it's going to be over pretty quickly.
Americans will feel it for a few more weeks, but at the end, we will have removed
the greatest risk to global energy supplies.
President Trump calling on other countries to help police the Strait of Hormuz to get oil flowing through that critical route, putting pressure on NATO allies and pointing to U.S. help with Ukraine.
It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the strait open.
While also insisting Iran wants to negotiate to end the war.
But I don't think they're ready to do what they have to do. But I think they will be ready at some point.
Iran's foreign minister rejecting that.
No, we never asked for a ceasefire, and we have never asked even for negotiation. We are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes.
Democrats arguing the war is not worth the costs.
This is doing exactly the opposite and raising the costs and the difficulty of Americans to be able to afford simple groceries and lodging and rent and energy prices.
As they press for a clear exit.
How do you know what information you can trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. Discover how audits create ripples of opportunity throughout our economy.
This live look of downtown Utica is brought to you by Utica National Insurance.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. For 49 years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. Whether you're just starting out or looking to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture is the place to shop. Adirondack Home Furniture has uncommissioned salespeople for a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience, also with unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center, Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
With so much information coming at us, one thing matters most: trust. But how do you know what to trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. By assuring the information companies report is transparent, accurate, and reliable, audits fuel the American economy. If you haven't thought about how audits ripple through our economy, it's time to discover the audit effect.
Hi, Steve here from Countryside Stoves. I want to talk to you about the Lopi Evergreen Wood Stove. Most efficient wood stove on the market today. Holds 20-inch wood, so you're going to get that long 10-hour burn time, so you're not getting up in the middle of the night and having to stoke your wood stove. We also have the Green Smart ignition system, where a touch of the button you can start your stove. Lopi developed the firebox of the hybrid burn system. You have a catalytic burn system throughout the stove. Stop down today and see our burning model. We run this every day to keep us warm.
Your top stories this morning: fire investigators in the city of Utica are looking into what caused a fire in a Court Street duplex. Firefighters were called to 1220 Court Street just before 10 o'clock Saturday night. They found heavy smoke coming from the second floor of the building. They were able to quickly put that fire out. No injuries were reported. This weekend saw several fundraisers taking place to support those hurt in a church explosion in Boonville from last month. One of those held at the Boonville Elks Lodge, packed wall to wall with supporters. The event featured live music, food, refreshments, raffles, and a Chinese auction. For those affected by the explosion, it just continues the immense support. Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary. It's going to be a wild day of weather across central New York. The potential for severe weather followed by the potential for some heavy snow. So what areas are going to be affected? Just about everybody. Meteorologist Eric Cage tracking the latest from the Weather Center, and definitely a crazy day on tap.
Oh yeah, definitely a very interesting one, an eventful one today, Ben. Let's take a look at the conditions outside right now. We are starting out rather warm for March standards at 44 degrees officially at Griffiths, 36 heading down to the Hudson or the Mohawk Valley toward Johnstown, and then 46 even farther south of Poughkeepsie down the Hudson Valley. So the radar right now quieting down after a rain band or even a isolated storm with some thunder rolled through sections of central Oneida County, heading its way north. It has since weakened as it moves its way outside of the northern Adirondacks. But today, we can't let our guard down. You see here, we've got yellow on this map indicating level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Biggest concern, strong wind gusts and rotating storm potential. Now, I do want to clarify that on a day like today, the chances of us seeing widespread storms, not very high. But the issue is if a storm tries to form, it has a very favorable environment to do so. In the meantime, tornadic activity like a rotating storm, again, has a lot of a very favorable environment to form. So while it's not likely, it's not zero. And we are on the fringe of a massive cold front, a very strong cold front, enough to produce a level 4 out of 5 risk zone. Not a common risk you can see here this time of year in the Atlantic coast here in the DC area, Carolinas, heading down toward Raleigh, North Carolina there. So we're not in the brunt of the severe weather zone, but we are on the fringe of it in the meantime. So because of that, we are issuing a Storm Tracker 2 alert day today due to that severe weather potential. And then following that, we've got a flash freeze. As if that wasn't enough, we're going to cool down quickly, widespread snow, and the lake effect as we head into the daytime tomorrow. So in the meantime today, highs push near 60. Hopefully stays cloudy. We're going to track a few thunderstorms arriving closer to the 4 to 6 p.m. time frame. 6 to 8 is when the widespread rain and storms arrive. And then following that, we've got that cool down. And Ben will be talking a bit more about what to expect throughout the day in a lot more detail coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. And before that system hits here, it hit in the Midwest, causing blizzard conditions, making travel hazardous. Those snow and high winds made travel nearly impossible with zero visibility in parts of South Dakota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. Millions affected by those strong winds. Rain and thunderstorms in Iowa moving through the day before rapidly changing to snow and powerful winds. That set the stage for blizzard conditions there. That lasted through early this morning. The heaviest snow moved in bands from west to east during last night. And while central Iowa is only expected to see a few inches of snow, higher totals are likely across the northern and eastern parts of the state. The biggest concern there, wind gusts between 50 and 60 miles per hour. The Live Nation antitrust trial is back on today. It comes after the ticketing giant didn't reach a settlement with more than 30 state attorney generals. During a Friday court hearing, a judge said the state dropped their motion for a mistrial. The civil trial began earlier this month, and it was interrupted the past week when the Justice Department and Live Nation announced a settlement. That development caught the judge and the states off guard. A representative for several states says 5 reached settlements with Live Nation on similar terms of the DOJ settlement. The trial will resume with witness testimony this morning. Formula One is officially canceling 2 upcoming races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia due to the Iran war and the widening conflict overall in the Middle East. F1 officials announced their decision, citing security concerns and the current situation in the Middle East. The Bahrain Grand Prix was scheduled for April 12th, the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix for April 19th. Officials say neither race will be replaced. That's going to leave a 5-week schedule in the Grand Prix schedule, or a 5-week gap rather in the Grand Prix schedule. Reuters F1 correspondent Alan Baldwin says it's going to be a commercial hit to the sport as well as a huge blow for fans. Well, March Madness is on. Locally, 2 teams still kicking in high school basketball. We start in Class C. What a season the Cooperstown Hawkeyes are having. Coming into yesterday's regional, 24-0. They head to the final against Elmira Notre Dame from Section 4. To the SRC Arena we go. Cooperstown off to a slow start. They would find a rhythm later in the first. Miles Nellen drives in with a little finger roll to the finish. Hawkeyes down by 4. He led all Hawkeyes with 24 points. Later, they go down low to the big man, Jackson Chrisman. He goes glass for 2, Coop down 3 after 1. In a second, in transition, it's Brady Murdoch, the basket and the ad 1, chipping in 13. Cooperstown trailing by 3 at the half. In the third, they came alive, outscoring Elmira 23-14. Chrisman catching fire, a 3 right there. And then, off the steal, get out of the way. A big slam home. Finishing a double-double, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Cooperstown going on to win 60-57. They improved 25-0. They're going to face Lions out of Section 5 in the state semifinals. That game next Saturday, 1:30 at Visions Memorial Arena in Binghamton. In Class D, Section 4's Edmundston looking to keep their history-making season alive, facing Sackett's Harbor from Section 3. Third quarter down by 8. Landon Wust driving through the lane and cuts the Sackett's lead down to 6. The Patriots not going to back down. It's going to be Luke Peters from deep. He'll sink that one. Panthers showing a little life down the stretch. Hunter Dye with a little how do you do with a 3. Nothing but net there. In the fourth, watch this. It's going to be a little trickery from Brayman Clark on the inbound. You got to pay attention there, an easy bucket. But Luke Peters, once again, it's going to be another 3 for Sackett's Harbor, and there's no looking back for the Patriots. The season comes to an end for Edmundston. Despite a valiant effort, they come up just short, 56-45, the final score. Congrats to them on a great season. Now to the madness at the college level. The men's and women's bracket released yesterday with modern technology. You all know every bracket instantly, but in case you were watching the Oscars pregame, we'll give you the top seeds. Syracuse not dancing this year, but ACC foe Duke, the top seed in the East. They're going to face Siena, coached by Jerry McNamara, who allegedly on a short list to coach at Syracuse next year. That game going to be in Greenville, South Carolina. Arizona, the top seed in the West. Florida topping the South. Michigan in the Midwest. The overall number 1 seed in the women's bracket, UConn. They're the top seed in their bracket. In that same bracket is Syracuse. They're going to be a 9 seed. They're going to face Iowa State. UCLA, South Carolina, Texas are the other number 1 seeds. First games start on March 18th. UCFC finally getting a win at home turf. 8-4 over the Tacoma Stars marks the first win under interim head coach Tommy Tanner. It was the debut of Jorge Lozada, a Utica native. Francisco Pagano netting 2 goals and an assist. City's playoffs hopes still alive with that win. In the World Baseball Classic, Team USA taking on Dominican Republic, going final with a 2-1 win. Gunnar Henderson, Roman Anthony, big homers from them. Former Mohawk Valley Diamond Dog Tyler Rogers seeing some action on the mound for Team USA. The Americans will await the winner of Italy and Venezuela for the World Baseball Classic final, which will be Tuesday at 8 p.m. And how about this for a proud moment? With yesterday's Paralympic gold, Team USA becomes just the first country ever to win gold in 1 year at all 3 Olympic, Paralympic tournaments. They're now defending champions at Olympic, men's, women's, Paralympic, IIHF Worlds, men's and women's, and Paralympic men's and women's as well. The time now 6:39, still ahead. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, but most of the parades and festivities have already taken place. That includes in Utica, where the St. Patrick's Day parade had a snowy backdrop, and the parades in Newport and Old Forge already in the books for 2026. Next on News Channel 2 at sunrise. Eric?
Heading out of the bus stop this morning after some rumbles of thunder in some of the spots early today. Things are starting to quiet down a little bit as that warm front passed. Either way, we're still in the 40s this afternoon. We're on the fringe of some severe weather approaching. High of 62, so maybe no heavy jacket needed today, but just be weather aware following when the kids get off the bus, as we could be seeing maybe a strong storm or two before that cold front approaches. We'll be right back.
With so much information coming at us, one thing matters most: trust. But how do you know what to trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. By assuring the information companies report is transparent, accurate, and reliable, audits fuel the American economy. If you haven't thought about how audits ripple through our economy, it's time to discover the audit effect. How do you know what information you can trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. Discover how audits create ripples of opportunity throughout our economy.
Sanity in wartime requires
a sound heart and a sound mind. Sir!
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
Who wants to make a deal?
This
is the one place that we guarantee you that you'll have a good time.
A perfect show today. $25,000 in cash.
You can take my word on it.
Night, everybody.
Good night, John Boy.
Say good day to John Boy and the rest of the Waltons.
Watch on WKTV 2.4. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app and put the power of Storm Tracker 2 in the palm of your hand. Watch the latest forecast, hour-by-hour conditions, the latest radar this winter. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app today. The Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Do you need a pick-me-up? Because NBC Comedy will make you...
Which is, of course, dolphin for...
You want to unleash the dog? Yeah. What the hell was that?
Trust the process.
Is this stuff that's actually going to happen?
Think of a number between 1 and 100. No. Are they good? I wouldn't say so.
So good.
It's MASH CTV on MeTV.
See what you started?
It's MASH C Laughs.
What about rank?
Can I help it if I'm not as rank as you?
MASH C Characters.
You wanted to see me?
And MASH C
It's a picture of General MacArthur in the nude.
TV.
Watch on WKTV 2.4. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Monday morning. Before we get to our photo of the day, if you're wondering what the conditions are this morning, well, we had a round of rain, even some rumbles of thunder passed through sections of especially northern Oneida County in the last hour or so. As that front moves its way north, of course, things begin to quiet down. So the rest of your morning will be mainly dry, mostly cloudy, and especially warmer than average for this time of year. Then, of course, this evening, we've got a very strong front to look out for, especially when it comes to severe weather risk. We'll be diving into that here in a few moments. For now, though, let's take a look at our photo of the day. This brings us to Utica, an amazing shot here sent into us by frequent submitter Lazor Photography. And the changing skies there, a beautiful scene of the what appear to be even ominous clouds out there in the distance, still very thick, and nonetheless, an amazing photo right here sent into us from Utica. If you like a photo like this you'd like to send to us, WKTV.com/weather/pics. You can go to submit your photo yourself, and you include the location, your name if you want credit, and we always look forward to seeing submissions all across central New York. We like to showcase every corner of the area. That photo and every photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. A snowy Utica St. Patrick's Day parade this year. Stepped off from Oneida Square going north along Genesee Street. Leading the way was this year's Grand Marshal Bob Sullivan. Thousands lining the street in a sea of green as marchers, including bagpipers, Irish dancers, even an Irish setter or two, passed by. The Utica St. Patrick's Day Parade is the third largest in the state, trailing behind New York City and Rochester. No matter your reason for being there, everybody had a great time.
Silas's big sister Lyra is marching with her Taekwondo group, so we're looking forward to seeing Lyra. We have a friend playing flute in one of the floats, so we're excited for that, and we're just gonna get some fresh air out here this morning.
I'm looking forward for seeing the schools with the Irish music, dancing, and it's one of my favorite parts.
Does everybody see me on the news?
Well, hopefully.
Am I on the news?
Well, not right now, maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later.
When am I going to be on the news?
Participants were judged in a variety of categories as they passed by the reviewing stand at the Stanley Theater. Winners will be announced at a special ceremony at the Celtic Harp on March 28th. Irish eyes were also smiling at the 4th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Newport. This year's parade led by the family of the late Richard Mueller, who passed away in December. He was a longtime member of the Middleville Fire Department. The parade was hosted by the Newport Fire Department. It made its way along Main Street, featuring plenty of fire trucks, marchers, and floats. The Kayahora Foundation once again serving up traditional Irish food during the festivities. The time now 6:46. A live look at downtown Utica. The full forecast with meteorologist Eric Gage is coming up next. You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise.
With so much information coming at us, one thing matters most: trust. But how do you know what to trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. By assuring the information companies report is transparent, accurate, and reliable, audits fuel the American economy. If you haven't thought about how audits ripple through our economy, it's time to discover the audit effect.
Chilling with the queen, her name is Gail King. Hey!
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning.
CBS Morning. CBS Morning.
CBS Mornings on CBS and where else? Paramount Plus. See you at 7.
CBS. CBS Mornings.
I want a mug. Yeah, good mug.
If we got clear facts, maybe we can calm down a little.
Talk to each other more.
That's what the news is supposed to do.
We know that everybody loves me. We also know that everybody loves Raymond. But did you know everybody loves his brother and his wife and his parents too? It's a family everybody can love.
Everything you could want in one show.
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
Something to look forward to tomorrow. We're going to have.
Whoa, this is pretty big news.
Judge. This spring, MLB has a new home. See you soon.
Judge!
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
The time now 6:49, and it's time to welcome the newest member of our Morning Mug Club, brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. St. Margaret's Ecumenical and Retreat Center in New Hartford is inviting the community to join 2 upcoming sacred site trips. The center on Jordan Road welcomes people of all faiths for worship, solitude, and group gatherings. St. Margaret's offers both spiritual and secular programs. It's open for group meetings or individual retreats. The first trip, June 8th, to the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. The second is July 27th and 28th to see Joshua at the Sight and Sound Theater in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. To register, call 315-724-2324 or visit St. Margaret's on Jordan Road. If you'd like to be a member of our Morning Mug Club, our contact information listed right there on your screen. Morning Mug Club proudly brought to you each morning by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli in Yorkville.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, we've got a very busy stretch of weather to look ahead to over the next 24 hours. We begin with a look at the radar and satellite. Let's see how things are shaping up right now. We have a warm front that rolled through about a few hours ago that produced the arrival of some isolated showers, even a rumble of thunder or two. But our attention turns to what's happening out here to our west. Notice here, those orange polygons here, blizzard warnings for sections east of Lake Michigan. And on top of that, blizzard warnings extending into, say, Illinois and as far north as the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Nonetheless, as this front continues its way eastward, we're going to initially see severe weather risk, followed by some wet, heavy snowfall on the backside of that system. So we see right here, much of that front shifting that rainfall to the north. Very dangerous weather in the southeast right now. That line of thunderstorms just passed through Atlanta and is now closely heading toward the low country here in a few moments. For now, though, it's still in much of the Carolinas in the next couple of hours. Today, we have a risk for some strong storms. Notice here, the yellow indicating level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, and the green, level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. And this is all driven in by a front that will be approaching from the west. And as that front rolls its way through, the biggest risks will be some strong winds, mainly south and west of us, but still we're on the fringe of those stronger winds. Then hail risk, mainly in the southern tier in Pennsylvania, but the big story today is the risk for tornadoes. I want to clarify, this doesn't mean we're going to get hit by a bunch of tornadoes. What it means is that we've got ingredients present for tornadoes to form easily. Whether they last long or not is dependent on the instability this afternoon. So let's take a look at the bigger picture here. So as a background, severe weather is mainly driven by 4 main ingredients, which I like to call SLIM. Stands for shear, lift, instability, and moisture. You get those 4, that's usually the prime ingredients for severe weather. Now, we have a lot of shear. That's the big thing today. Now, we have a lift, we have a cold front. Instability, not really that high, which is the deciding factor here because we're so far north away from all that instability. And on top of that, moisture as well, not that high. So we have 2 out of the 4 main ingredients, but shear is a big factor in it. So I carry that with a lot more weight compared to other factors here. And what that basically means is that when this front rolls its way through, there's so much rotational energy and movement of winds in the lower atmosphere that's very easy for some of these storms, if they do form, to start rotating. And that's our biggest concern today. It's not high, but regardless of that risk, you guys should always be weather aware on a day like today. This cold front works its way through. We got widespread snow in the backside of this that'll eventually exit, and then we got some lake effect to track as we head into Tuesday night into Wednesday. So we have first the severe risk this afternoon that usually arrives between 6 to 8 p.m. That's that window here. There's that front. As it works its way eastward, we're going to see snow on the backside of it. This flash freeze, we go from the 60s down into the 20s, wind chills near 0. So a big drop off in temperature. And following that, lake effect on Tuesday for your St. Paddy's Day, and then we're in the 40s by Wednesday, or Thursday I should say, and into Friday. So pretty eventful next 24 hours. Of course, the Storm Tracker 2 app you can download as well. I'll likely be going live on social media in the next hour or so to give you guys some feedback if you have any questions to ask. Again, these are the days where you want to be aware of the situation we're dealing with right now, which is that severe weather risk. So.
And, you know, keep your weather radios on and ready, especially as we go into tonight. We now have 3 weather radio stations serving our area, and I'm sure you'll get a little more into that on the live stream as well, but definitely going to be a busy day for the weather crew. Thank you very much, Eric. Still ahead, the time now, 6:54. One last look at your forecast and a peek at what's coming up on the Today Show.
Stop in today to see our full line of Telescope furniture. Telescope Casual Furniture has been manufactured in New York since 1903. There are several different furniture collections to choose from to fit any backyard and budget. Select from hundreds of fabrics and slings that are all mold and mildew resistant. Telescope furniture is constructed with powder-coated aluminum and polymers that don't fade or crack. With a 15-year warranty, Telescope furniture will not only last, but also stand the test of time. Stop into Riverside Pools today to see our full line of Telescope Casual Furniture.
With so much information coming at us, one thing matters most: trust. But how do you know what to trust? That's where the audit effect comes in. Audits create trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence powers markets. By assuring the information companies report is transparent, accurate, and reliable, audits fuel the American economy. If you haven't thought about how audits ripple through our economy, it's time to discover the audit effect.
Sanity in wartime requires
a sound heart and a sound mind. Sir.
Watch on WKTV 2.4 and on Spectrum Cable Channel 1245.
Everybody, welcome to the show. Who wants to make a deal? This is the one place that we guarantee that you'll have a good time. A perfect show today. $25,000 in cash. You can take my word on it.
Night, everybody.
Good night, John Boy.
Say good day to John Boy and the rest of the Waltons.
Watch on WKTV 2.4. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app and put the power of Storm Tracker 2 in the palm of your hand. Watch the latest forecast, hour-by-hour conditions, the latest radar this winter. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app today.
Here's a live look inside Studio 1A at Rockefeller Center. Coming up on Today, the brackets are out. March Madness set to sweep across the country. This morning, everything you need to know about the teams, players, and Cinderella stories to watch for coming up on Today.
That big one, too. We have Duke and Siena.
Yeah.
That's going to be a game. I mean,
Siena out of Albany. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Imagine if Siena beats Duke.
That'd be crazy.
Wow. Those are your big stories for today. Don't forget, you can get caught up on news and weather anytime at WKTV.com.
The Today Show coming after this. For more local coverage, join us again today later at noon.
From all of us, have a great day.
With so much information coming at us, one thing